I got a little cocky, maybe more than a little bit. And I think part of me, like, you know, felt like we'd made it. I made a lot of mistakes or things I would give anything to be able to do over again. I didn't ever try to commit fraud on anyone. Look, I should have been on top of this, and I feel really, really bad and regretful that I wasn't.
Well, lots of focus on what FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried is saying. He's been given multiple platforms to speak, but what about investors who are out perhaps billions of dollars saying? Back with us today, crypto investor Evan Luthra. You know, Evan, I got to imagine you're just watching interview after interview after interview, the cavalier approach, the cavalier attitude, and then some of the things he's saying is shocking me. I mean, I'm sure you thought they were monitoring your money. It felt like they had no controls and they didn't care.
Yeah, that's what we're realizing now after hearing everything that we're seeing in the news, how the FTX lacked any sort of corporate controls or corporate governance. It's news to me now. So that was not expected when I started using FTX. Obviously, that wasn't how we expected would run their business. But we're finding out all about this right now.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point, you weren't supposed to know this. No one knew it, but there are people, right? There are checks and balances. There are people who invested a lot of money with him. There are people who said his company was valuable, like it was worth $25, $30 billion. He went on financial media over and over again. They lauded him, the JP Morgan of crypto. So you can see how people got sucked in. How do you feel about just the entire system letting you down?
It's very disappointing to me, and it's even more disappointing that the system is still letting me down consistently, and that is what's really pissing me off. It's like, how is the media still lauding him? Why does he get a standing ovation at the New York Times Summit when we all know that he defrauded people of $10 billion? He can say whatever he wants. It does not change the facts. The fact is he spent money that was not his, while all at the same time he kept lying about it, that he's not spending it, the user funds are safe. And for this, what is he getting? He's not in jail. He's not behind bars. He's getting a standing ovation at New York Times. To me, this really pisses me off. This was the media that really enabled him. A lot of the trust that was placed in him came from because of all these credible organizations backing him and standing up for SBF. And they're still doing it today. And this is not really what should be the case.
You know, there's this element of elitism out there. And you know, of course, a lot of these folks look down on crypto investors to begin with. So it's sad that there's no sympathy, but we certainly want everyone to be safeguarded. Are you confident at all that ultimately some form of justice will come out of this, starting with Congress, which is going to start their investigation? I think Representative Maxine Waters put out a tweet today, and again, sort of like lauding him. Hey, you've been great and straightforward. We'll see you on the 13th. Are you confident justice will prevail?
I am not confident at this moment because I've not seen any sort of positive action. The first thing that should have been done is the politicians should have refunded the $40 million plus that they took in donations that came from stolen money. It is already clear that this was not SBF's money to donate. This part is already clear. They can already start refunding those donations. They don't need to wait till the hearings to find out more. That they don't need to hear it again and again that he did not give that donations from his own money. This was stolen money at all times. So I think they can already start doing that. And well, this hearing could also have happened while he's behind bars. Yeah. Normally, people have been arrested for a lot less. So the reason that he's still not behind bars is really surprising to me.
Evan, you know, we'll keep in touch with you. You know, we feel for you, really do. It's just what happened to you should happen to nobody. And I think a lot of that is embedded in this country with the elitism and how they've taken advantage of so many Americans, and we've got to make it stop. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.